The state of Michigan is working to protect and promote animal health. Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Laurel Hess and this is Comcast Newsmakers. Joining me now is the Assistant State Veterinarian for the Michigan Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, Dr. Nancy Frank. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Are there certain things we should be doing in advance, looking out for our animals, whether it's an indoor, an outdoor cat or a dog as we approach the summer months, the hot weather months, if you will?
Sure, and springtime is a great time for animal owners to check in with their veterinarian about ways to make sure their animals do stay healthy throughout the summer. Because with warmer weather, there are certain threats that pop up that can encourage diseases to be spread, and there's things people can do to prevent the spread of diseases both in their pets and their livestock as well.
Well, yeah, we're out more, our pets are out more,
Right.
You're outside, you're coming in contact with a lot of things maybe you haven't all winter long. What
Right.
are the biggest threats or the biggest things to look out for as our pets are out and about more?
The biggest things to be concerned about are mosquitoes and increased interaction with the wildlife, because both mosquitoes can spread disease and then interaction with wildlife can spread diseases as well.
So I've never heard of a mosquito repellent for a dog. So what do I do to protect my dog against mosquitoes?
Well, one of the things we're concerned about with mosquitoes actually has to do with horses, although can also impact other animals as well. For example, there's a disease called West Nile virus, and there's a vaccination for that. So that is something that horse owners in particular could talk to their veterinarian about, because West Nile virus can be spread by the bite of a mosquito, and if your horse is vaccinated, it would be protected against that infection.
So
That's
obviously,
one
if
example.
you have home domestic animals versus if you have a farm and you have maybe farm animals, be talking to your veterinarian about which animals are at greater risk, need to be
Right.
vaccinated, that type of thing.
Right, your veterinarian can help you sort out what diseases might be the threats, which diseases vaccines will be helpful for, and then other measures that can be taken on the farm or in an owner's home and yard to protect their animals.
Should we be worried about West Nile or mosquitoes with say, our dogs or cats?
It's not common, it's much more common in horses, but it is something that people can get as well, so it's good to know if it's in there and to take those precautions.
And then you mentioned as well increased interaction with wildlife. You know, when
Right.
something terrible happens, we see it on the news. A coyote makes way with a small dog that wasn't being watched in a yard. That type of thing. Do we see more of that in the spring and summer when more animals are outside?
Well, potentially, that is an unfortunate sort of thing that can happen, but there's also specific diseases that can be transmitted from wildlife. And a couple of the ones that we worry about are called leptospirosis, and then another one that most people probably have heard of is rabies virus. So rabies virus is another one that animals can be protected by a vaccination. And actually in Michigan, because this disease is so bad, there are requirements that just about all dogs be vaccinated against rabies, and also in Michigan, ferrets are required to be vaccinated against rabies. So message to anyone that has a ferret as a pet, make sure it gets vaccinated against rabies.
So like the bottom line is that certainly if you are a cat or a dog owner and you haven't seen your veterinarian in a year and you're not sure if you're up to date on all your vaccines, make a visit and get up to date.
Right, that'd be a great thing to do.
And certainly other sort of common sense things as well. Remind everybody, don't leave your animal in a hot car this summer. There's some
Yes.
legislation sort of being bantered about that, but I would think at this point common sense should prevail.
Right. Avoid those hot cars, keep an eye on your animal when they're outside, and think about not bringing diseases home with you. Another thing that we get a little concerned about are animals that are going to various shows, because when animals go to shows, they're in contact with a lot of different animals, and that is a chance for them to pick up something.
All right, so if you do have an active pet out and about, vaccine, vaccine, vaccine. Thank you so much for
Yes.
joining us today.
Okay, thank you.
For more information about today's topic, please visit michigan.gov/MDARD. Today's Comcast Newsmaker was Dr. Nancy Frank, the Assistant State Veterinarian for the Michigan Department of Agriculture and Rural Development.